I want to get it to the point, Mark, where I don't have to even remind people where to go at a couple minutes before it happens or when it's happening. Like it's literally where it is and find it, and you're trained to know where it is. Yeah, yeah. It's every morning I'm so sick of having to type the live stream's over here, the live stream's over here, the live stream's over here. What you say there, Mac? Ukraine has fired shots. All right, that's very interesting. Not seeing that reaction on the market. Was that what happened 20 minutes ago? Because that reaction I saw. All right, and let's go. Let's get this party started. What? Huh? Dondrell, I think I wasn't following what you were saying. Is there more that you said? No. Talking about. Oh, they just can't be. You mean you don't believe that they fired shots? I see. Hey, accidents even happen. I mean, skirmishes are expected and frequent. Get one guy going, I don't give a shit what you say, and he just runs over there and just blows himself up. Not everybody wants to wait for the signal. All right, looks like we got enough people here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube. In here. In here is the best, lowest lag, highest resolution, most options, and the group chat. Leroy Jenkins. All right. So anyway, this morning, we had some economic numbers, housing starts, and it didn't seem the market really reacted to that. It's mostly the Ukraine tensions. And on that news, the market dropped just a smidge. And it's like, yes, it's going to affect things, but it's not going to affect everything. There's going to be a shock. If something happens, there would be a shock to oil and natural gas, and that would affect the whole market. How much, not too much, but some. And you can see that it was, the market reacts broadly to any tension adjustment in the geopolitical space. And although, it doesn't affect necessarily Apple's quarterly return, you know what I mean? The fundamentals of businesses, especially mostly domestic ones, let's say, I don't know, maybe restaurants or chains that are mostly U.S., et cetera, those are going to not be affected so much. So, it's going to be an initial reaction, and then it's an overreaction. But there really is no way of stopping it. I mean, you can see nobody really wants anything to escalate out of control, which they feel there's the possibility, there's a probability percent there, and that's why it's freaking people out. Because, if somebody else gets involved, that can affect supply chains. Somebody else, so supply chains can get really disrupted times like that. So we are seeing a gold go up overnight a bit. It's about already moved. It's going to gap open. It's already moved about the distance that it moved yesterday. So an entire day's range. And it's sitting at almost 19. It bounced off of 1900 an ounce. $1,900 an ounce. Wow, that's fantastic. So yeah, and Dash, some cuts, some price target cuts. Okay, Dash was at 895 yesterday and hit 131 in after hours on a good earnings report. So we'll be watching that for a potential trade either to the short side or to the long side. Apparently, it's had some price target cuts based on guidance. But we're looking to see if it can break 121 pre-market. We've got 18 minutes until the market opens, and we'll see what happens there. It looks like rates have deflated overnight. Much more than usual. So, not really significantly. They went from 2.07 high yesterday to now they hit a 1.98. So, but it's a bigger move before the open than usual, and so that may give tech a chance to correct upward a little bit. So you might see tech leading today. That's my guess. Tech will lead and grind up unless tensions, continue. By the way, Bitcoin following growth stocks, pretty par on par, correlated, highly correlated. And energy and inflation stocks still remain a good bet, but today might be a pullback day for them in general. And of course, consumer staples and utilities a good place to invest your long-term money right now, to rotate your long-term portfolio into right now while you remain defensive. Because if you separate those out, look at just SPY growth, you can see how this pivot here broke back, this one back here. Let me get that illustrated a little bit better. This one kind of bounced off it, but this was also a little bit of an extreme move anyway. So the real pivot to break would have been this one, and we definitely broke that one. So overall, as you can see here, growth stocks have broken pivot. But now let's switch over to value stocks of this and see the same graph. You can see there, value stocks have not broken pivot at all. They're still bullish. So value stocks remain a place where you can still get some protection, a return on your money, with inflation nearing double digits, 10%. It's hard to make sure that your cash doesn't deflate. And one of the ways you can protect it from deflating, so that if you have $100,000 from last year, you don't end up with $85,000 worth of value this year. And that would be to make sure that it's in gold and defensives and bonds, and it's appreciating. You got to get it appreciating if you're going to beat inflation. Inflation is like a corrosion, a financial corrosion. And if you don't get it under control, it can run away. End up like Venezuela with 15,000% inflation. It's a real thing. It can happen. And it's happened many times in history to many countries. But we should be okay. Well, SPY go down today. You have a 435 puts. Oh, geez. Your 435 puts are worthless. I mean, it's sitting at 442, but 435 is asking a lot. The average daily range lately with this volatility level on SPY is $7. And in order to hit 435, your SPY puts, that's $7 from where we are right now. Actually, we're at 444, so it's $9 away. And that's to break even. So if it gets down to 435 and expires, it'll expire worthless. So let's say you need it to be like $200 or $300. It's gonna have to go down to SPY's gonna have to go down to 432 for it to be worth $300. Don't ever buy out of the money options, people. In fact, don't trade options. Period. Until you really know what you're doing with them. And I mean that pretty seriously. Options on the risk scale are right up there with art and other the highest risk investments on the planet. Options are them. They're in that category. They're more high risk than high yield junk bonds, and more high risk than a failing growth company. Good morning. What is your take on NVIDIA? NVIDIA bearish for the next month or two. It looks like it's bearish, and we'll see where it is at after that. Why dash 121, not 122? Well, I'd even go 120, frankly. I mean, there's a shelf there for sure at 120. So, but 121 was the pre-market high. That's what's going to be registering on everyone's system. So it's a for sure momentum breakout point. But I'm even going to adjust that to 120. So if Dash breaks 120, it has a lot of momentum potential to the upside. If it breaks down 114, we've got downside potential. And you could also use the opening 5-minute range to take decisions on. So we'll see how it goes. So we have that nice wide range, 120 to 114 based on pre-market. And then in the first 5 minutes of trading, we're going to get another range, if smaller. See what I mean? And then we can take direction on whichever one that is. No labels yet. Thanks for reminding me. I actually thought that a minute ago. Thanks for reminding me. All right, let me label them up. You might have to get rid of those B big calls. Oh yes, B big pulling back. That's fine. We tried. Looks like MRIN is up 20% on 5 million volume, so I'm going to pull that up. And yeah, MDJH. Sure to get those up. I'll have those up in a minute. Head and shoulders patterns in SPY. Yeah, for sure. A head and shoulders pattern is just a late pivot point trend line breakdown pattern. Really, failure retest. It's all that combined. So there's other patterns that will predict the head and shoulders pattern way before the head and shoulders pattern appears. Okay, there we go. Those are all labeled up, and let me pull up MJDH, MDJH, and MIRN. Okay, cool. I'm going to get those up on the high-speed setup here to see what kind of momentum they're looking like right now. Okay, MRIN, not trading too swiftly, not a ton of volume going on at the moment. MDJH. Really weak. We'll just probably end up skipping that. GLBE. Very weak. Those two on the right there probably end up skipping. Dash, pretty liquid. Nice liquid pre-market. It's probably going to be very liquid during the market. So overall, MRIN, which is just medium liquidity, looks like it has a pretty big float. I'm thinking 45 mil float. Anybody got the float info? All right, I got it over here. Let's see. Shares float only 15. Okay, good. That should work. I mean, really low float would be like 5 mil. But 15, we'll take it. That's good. So MRIN with a lot of potential this morning. If people want it, the float's too short. It's too small. And so it could really run. But the demand's going to have to be there. If the demand's not there, it's not going to happen. And right now it's a little bit failing VWAP, and it's been fading since 4.8 yesterday. all the way back to 3.24. It's at 4 right now and failing 4. All right, we've got 9 minutes until the market open. You guys over on TikTok, you can send me a message if you like about anything. Just send me a DM. And also, you can click the link in my bio if you'd like to come check out our trading community. You can experience it for free. Just come click the link in my bio. I mean, AMC, it's the same story every day. It's going down, 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 down. Gold has broken out of this consolidation pattern, and it may end up running. It may, of course, it will be with its pullbacks, but the projection is to be in a year and a half at about 2,400 an ounce. So $500 of gain in a year and a half on gold. That's really good. All right, we got 8 minutes until they open. And all right, Walmart. And what's up with Walmart this morning? Yeah, Walmart we went over yesterday. Stage 3 topping. So the bull run on Walmart is over for the moment. Still an okay defensive stock right now, since it essentially is consumer staples. Although it does have a lot of premium products in their inventory. I guess they try to stay away from it. Like I got a $500. I got a what was it? 75-inch TV for $500. Walmart. That's the ugliest chart I've ever seen you like. I just mean from which one? On this one on Walmart. I just mean from it's a good defensive on gold. Yeah. Well, gold is great because, I even posted this morning a quote that Robert Schiller, the financial analyst, said. Oh, thanks, honey. Hold on. I need that coffee. Oh, yes. Very nice. So Robert Schiller said, gold is very valuable because it tends to stay gold. It's something you can rely on, right? And this is why Bitcoin can't really be the store of value, because gold is a fucking element in the universe. You can melt it down unless you're a star, like in the universe, a star. There's not much you can do to gold. It's gonna be there for you. So this is why gold is a nice place to store value. And if you look at the graphs, what you see is that gold tends to do really well in general. Gold does well overall over time. It just continues to appreciate with inflation. But it also goes on runs, okay? And then on top of that, if the market crashes, it spikes and goes up, and it protects your portfolio against those crashes, because a lot of people want to then put their money somewhere, where it's going to be there again tomorrow. And gold has a way of not disappearing. So that is why gold is a good asset. And as you can see here, the reason why I like this graph, for something that's negatively correlated to the market. So if the market goes down and gold goes up, which you need in your portfolio, you need those assets. For something that goes down when the market goes up, it sure does well when the market's going up. It just basically stays the same. It goes sideways, and that's fine. It's just like, here, I'll just sit around for a while and wait for when you need me, and then it takes off. So gold is a very important asset and an excellent way to hedge your portfolios. And right now I'm about 20 to 40% gold, depending on what portfolio I'm in. And that's, how to play defensive during bearish markets or sideways markets. Hey, if this market ain't running, I'm not investing. So we got to wait for this market to turn bullish. SLB, SLB, all right. What's that? Win bull run, November. SLB. So SLB looks like it had some kind of a bottom reversal going on, and it has been appreciating since the pandemic, basically. So it's probably just getting back, reflating. It's probably just reflating. It's been doing about 55% a year on that reflation, and now it's at the high end of the channel. So I would sell or sell calls or buy puts, whatever you want to do, because now's not the time to buy. You know, the time to buy is on the bottom line here, right? All right. We've got 3 minutes and 30 seconds to the open, and we're looking to see if Dash is going to get close to 120. If so, it's 115. It would be your stop on that, by the way, guys. 115. Hey, good morning, RJ. 115 stop on Dash if it breaks 120, and it's getting really close. It's at 119, 119.50. So if you're able to get in pre-market, you have 3 minutes before the market opens. That could be a trigger entry at 120. Here it goes, 119.75. Can you check Algorand? No. We cannot check those types of assets on this program. NEO. Yeah, NEO's bearish. Bearish trend, mini failures and breakdowns. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to the market open. Dash pulling back to 119 now, so no signal. And GLBE and MDJH, I mean, it's like C minus grade pre-market momentum movers. I would stay away. The volume just isn't there. You know, that's gonna be dangerous. But who knows? Maybe they go on a big run. If you want to take it, you know, just make sure you assign a nice wide risk. Whoa, there goes GLBE now, actually. Whoa, it's at 45, 42, $3 a risk on GLBE if you want to take it. Speak of the devil. MRIN, we're going to also be watching that. But GLBE, yep, starting to activate right before our very eyes. $3 a risk on GLBE. Should it pan out, you'll have wanted to get in. But like I said, the worries, the concerns here are about volume and liquidity. Apple, we've got 1 minute until the market opens. Everybody on TikTok. I actually said it. I actually did the boomer mistake. Everybody on TikTok, if you'd like to come check out our trading group, just click the link in my bio or click the link in my profile. I'm also going to give you the link right now, right in here in the chat. And it's free to experience. All right, we've got 40 seconds until the market opens. Apple's holding pretty strong. So somebody asked about Apple. Somebody asked about Apple general chart. And yeah, Apple's doing good. Next to gold these days in being a pretty safe place to put your money. Gold teeth, only reasonable answer. Oh, that's hilarious. 15 seconds until the market closes. Actually, Todd Hoffman's dad, Jack Hoffman, on the show Gold Rush, has all gold teeth, and then he had them covered by white enamel. So when he dies, he's donating he's giving his teeth to his son. The market is open, everybody. All right, let's see what happens with Dash. If it breaks down 114, get puts for a day trade. Don't do that if you know, this is your own decision. This program is an educational program. Don't do that just because I said so. It's if you know what you're doing, you understand the strategies, and you want to play, you know, and you understand how to do everything. An opportunity is there on Dash if it breaks 114 on the low end for an entry short. On the day, that would be for a day trade. Let's be really clear. What gold stock symbol do you invest in? GLD, so gold without the O. And there it is, breakdown on Dash. That's the signal. If it comes up a little bit, great, you got a better price. Oh, it's already at 113, 112. It's hitting 112. Breakdown on Dash. Chris called it. Will it hold? The signal is in. That's definitely a markdown signal. We'll also be watching it for a 5-minute dip buy, dip and rip type trade. So we're watching it for that. Anybody in GLBE? It is going up there. It's up at 46 now. Make sure you take 5 to 20% of your profits out beneath every dollar level. And this thing, like I said, it's kind of an odd one and a bit illiquid. I would err on the side of 20%. Cut a fifth-year position underneath every dollar level. Dash hit 111.65. Why are all your comments grayed out? Just because they're probably taking a second to get to me, but I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them, buddy. Don't worry. I have some small amount of money. What's the best investment we're talking? A couple $100. The best investment, get a job. Because it should be like anybody can make a couple $100 in a weekend. How old are you? Depends on how old you are, I guess. But if you really want to just be investing, Microsoft, Apple, Google are probably the top picks, and then just VOO. That's pretty funny, you guys, about the teeth. Gold teeth. MRIN breaking down. Same thing over there if you want to take it. MRIN, it's counter trend trade, but there might be a trade opportunity there to short MRIN. Just make sure you stop at $4. And right now it's at $3.90, so 10 cents a risk. MDJH coming up and over VWAP right now. If it can break 3.5, that's what we'd be looking for. Break of 3.5. So let's see what happens. Breakdown on REAX, REAX, somebody says. Let's see. Well, yeah, no, there's nothing, no trade there. We're definitely following some other greater opportunities than that right now. And Dash is now at 110. So who's short on Dash? You're making good money on it. Are we still in on day? Let's go take a look. I don't even see today's candle. What is it? Because it hasn't moved from that price right there? Yeah, we're still in on day. It's still at really close, but we're still in it. If it starts to depreciate today, we will probably get out. MRIN coming back up and over 4. So if you got an MRIN short, that's your exit. All right, Chris is in the Dash short. Excellent. It hit 110.10 a moment ago, and it's definitely staying under VWAP. The market itself looks like it's going to create a new low any minute here. And the Qs are being a bit resilient. Yeah, there goes the market. Market is about to break down. By the way, Jackson's, I think, traveling right now, so he'll be back in a couple of days, probably Monday. Hey, everybody over on TikTok, if you'd like to come check out our trading group, you just got to go over to my bio, my profile, and click the link. It's right there, and it's free to experience. To come check it out. Chris already sold 20%. Dude, I got, everybody support Chris for taking partial profits. That's the way to go. You got to take partial profits all along the way, because that might be all you get. Your partial profit. Now you need to, once you've done that once, you set half of your position to break even. So the 5-minute opening range breakout is now in. The 5-minute range on everything across the stock market is in, and you can start to go for breakouts or breakdowns based on the opening 5-minute range. So MRIN actually breaking to the upside of its 5-minute range, maybe MRIN is going to make a run to retest the high of yesterday, 4.8. If you want to get into MRIN, you'd have to put the stop currently at 3.8. It's at 410 right now, so about 30 cents of risk. Nvidia is breaking down. All right. The whole market's breaking down. Amazon tried, but it might not be able to hold. Tesla hanging in there, Apple hanging in there. The VIX is increasing. SPY is testing lows on the day. Tesla, same as Nvidia, a bit bearish. However, in 1 year, I do have a price target of 1,800 on Tesla. So long term investment on Tesla, good, but short term bearish right now with multiple failed retests and breakdowns. So it's highly bearish. But you shouldn't even be trading Tesla, and if you don't have a ton of money. And if you have a ton of money, you're smart. And so therefore, if you're asking about Tesla, you don't have a ton of money, and you don't know what you're doing, and you shouldn't be trading Tesla. Dondrell trades Tesla all the time. He doesn't ask about it. I tell you if he has a little bit of money or a lot. Be like Dondrell. GLBE now pushing up to around 47. For sure, Mac. For sure. Your blood pressure can't handle trading Tesla. So Russell 3000, not looking that great, but SPY V is much better in the short term. Obviously, they're doing fine, but short term's important, most important for traders. Traders are investors too, but that's a different portfolio, and that's not what we're doing here. We are trading. And so 3-month outlook, 6-month outlook, 9-month outlook, still, those are trades. If you're not investing because you intend to hold it and then give it to your children when you die, then you're trading. So obviously, if you're investing, you should put it in something that's going to be there that long. Gold, the market, and Google, Apple, and Microsoft. There you go. There's your whole, long-term retirement portfolio. 47 on GLBE. Take another profit underneath this $47 level on GLBE. Nah, Dwack puts nah. That's retracement. It's going right into yesterday's range. That's not a breakdown below a pivot point into fresh recent virgin territory. There's going to be just too much resistance there. That's not a quality trade to take. It's like agreeing to play basketball with Michael Jordan. I don't know if it's a good analogy, but you don't want to do it. You're gonna lose. That's a low quality bet that you're going to beat Michael Jordan. Roblox dead cat bounce going on. That somebody says. Let's check it out. Tweedleo, do you see a bounce coming for Microsoft? No, the all growth stocks are adjusting to the bearish market right now. So you're going to have to wait it out. Sounds to me like maybe you bought some out of the money options. Yeah, you should probably sell those. You don't want to be in growth right now. Growth is bearish. Value is sideways/bullish. Value stocks, defensive stocks, inflationary stocks, and gold are where you want your money during these tough times. Interesting. All right. John White says Buffett controlled, no, not GBTC, GLBE. Yeah, 4.2 entry on MRIN. That's what we're waiting for. And if it does break 4.2, there's the opening range breakout, which we already talked about before, but there's also the pre-market high breakout, which would really confirm a lot of momentum on MRIN. If it does break 4.2, so you'd want to look for 4.21 and set your order to a stop market or stop limit order of 4.21, then you can get in for 20 cents of risk. Hello, everybody on TikTok. If you'd like to come check out our trading group, you just have to click the link in my bio. Just go over to my profile and click the link in my bio. It's free to experience. Baba breaking out. Let me check it out. I don't believe you. No, not really. It has a low volatility. It's right on the edge of a low volatility potential breakout, so it's worth taking. With a stop at 119, about $9 of risk. It's worth taking, but only if it actually does break this bar that it's on right now at 128 with volume and follow through. Dash now testing 108. It's currently at 109.50. It's been testing 108. So continuing to run back down to the yesterday's close or high. I mean, the worst you could hope for is the high of yesterday. The market not making any progress, still looking weak and ready to break down. It's not rallying. It's just hanging out at the low. Dash keeps testing bottom of 5-minute opening range, about to break down. Okay, Paul, perfect. What do you mean? Hang on. We're already in it. Oh, well, as far as that's concerned, the 5-minute opening range. But we already took it at 114 for a pre-market range breakdown. So you see, the pre-market range can give you some opportunity and signal, okay? If the 5-minute range is inside of that pre-minute range, that can give you an early sign of the direction that things are going once that breaks. But if the 5-minute range is greater than the pre-market range, you've already got your signal from the pre-market break. You see what I mean? So, yeah. It's like null and void because the pre-market range already has broke inside of the 5-minute range. But had the 5-minute range been inside, you see what I mean? Then if there was a break, now you have some early sense of direction. Zom is going crazy right now, somebody says. Whoo, it sure is. You guys, let's get all over Zom. Let's take a look at that. What is happening over there? You can get in for to VWAP like 5 cents of risk. So you can get a ton of shares at 5 cents of risk. That's 20 times your 1%. So 10,000 shares, you'll be able to get 2,000. $10,000 account, you'll be able to get 2,000 shares. ZOM, Z-O-M, Z-O-M. Thank you very much. What value does this add to society? That's both a snarky comment and a good question. Also, depending on how old you are. If you're on the younger side, that's a very good question. If you're on the older side, that's a pretty dickhead question. So, but what value does trading the stock market have for society? This is investing in businesses. So other than getting a job, there are other ways to make money in life. You can run your own business. If you don't have enough money to run your own business, you can maybe go in partners with someone who you'll both work on the business together, right? And then you're risking money to make money. You have a notion that you're going to make money. And so that is what creates jobs. That is what makes the world turn, is creating businesses, creating money, creating jobs, creating products that people need. And the products that people will pay the most for are the ones that improve their efficiency. So they make them get more for doing the same amount of work, or get the same result for less work, or both. You get more for less work. And that is what progresses mankind, and that's how we evolve. MRIN with the breakout stop at 408, and it looks like it wants to test that. And remember, no hard stops. Give it 20 seconds if we hit a stop. Always give it 20 seconds if we hit a stop. Anyway, so this is the stock market, and this is where people invest money into businesses without having to do it all yourself, run the business yourself. What do I recommend to someone who wants to start with minimal experience? Paper trading, like practice trading, paper trading, using paper trading simulator software, and then taking my video lessons, which are only $7. So I'll drop that link right now, Market Mastery. And if you have any questions about that, just send me a private message. Here's a link. There you go. You need to be learning. It takes about 1 year to become a break-even trader. So your first year you expect to lose, but the goal is to minimize losses, to learn how to minimize losses. Your next year, you start to work on maximizing gains. But most people struggle with the concept of selling when they're supposed to sell for the first year, and just in general the strategies and learning charts and everything. So yeah, that's what I recommend. You have 52 shares of Facebook. Should you be selling? Do you have $1 million? Or is that all of your money? It doesn't tell me anything that you have 52 shares. You know what I mean? I mean, do you have a yacht? It doesn't tell me much to tell me you have 52 shares. What you need to tell me is I have 3% of all my money in Facebook. I have 57% of all my money in Facebook. You know what I mean? That's a scalable proportion I can look at. NVIDIA, what's up with it? Yep. That's what I've been waiting for. Been bearish on NVIDIA. Here we go. Check what is the expiration on my option on NVIDIA. Tomorrow. I thought I had more time than that. Oh no, that's a different one. That was the protection. That was a protective call on earnings. No. Where is it here? March 18. Okay, that's better. Okay, MRIN, if you did get in on that breakout at 420, it's definitely testing your faith. However, it is getting supported by the support level at VWAP 4.08. If it breaks that level with, panic or huge volume, you can make a decision to get out right away. Otherwise, if it breaks that level softly, give it 20 seconds at least, see where it goes from there. Usually those breaks can get bought up at those support levels. You have 10% of your money in Facebook. Okay. Now let's take a look. So now the question remains, what are you doing with your money? Do you intend this money is something that you want to hold for years, or you want to work that money on a daily basis or weekly basis? You want to make sure you're in the right stuff and can constantly rotate and churn it and get it into the right things, because that's a different, that requires more time. So you want to sit and forget and let it bake, for years? Or do you want to trade your money? Do you see how it's impossible to answer sometimes people's questions? All right, Zomedica, here comes the re-break at 48 cents. If we break 48 cents, you can get in for 3 cents of risk or fill up or rebuy if you're an expert trader. That would be a fill up rebuy point. But this could be your either first or second chance entry. Here it is. It's going to 48, 3 cents of risk. Stop at 45. That's ZOM. And MRIN coming up for the retest of the high. And this is where you're going to find out whether or not it has the balls to continue. Baked by the market. That gold option that we got yesterday up 18% today. SPY breaking down. The Qs breaking down. Industrials breaking down. The VIX going up. We're going to reach 28, looks like, on the VIX. We started the day under 25. All right, Zomedica pushed up to 49 and is struggling with the 50-cent level. Make sure you take profits like every 2 cents, 2.5 cents, 2 cents on these teeny penny stocks. So the 5 to 20% levels you take profits at on something below $1, it's like every 2 cents. Yeah, I mean, outlook on Facebook right now is sketchy. So, I'd move just about anybody into just defensives right now. And the real only true, it looks like, winners that you can rely will be there for the rest of your life, that you can hand that stock to your kids. So we're talking 50, 70 plus years, is Google, Apple, and Microsoft. And I don't know about you, but I trust Ford in that same position, and Coca-Cola and McDonald's. I mean, there's companies out there. Just think, just use your brain, think what's going to be there in 100 years, and really think about think about it hard, like as the world grows, and is it really going to be there? Like, I don't know, and I don't mean this as an insult to people who like this place, but I'm just picking one out of the stock market. I don't know for sure if Wendy's is going to be there in 100 years. No offense, it might be there in 50. I don't know about 100. And I like Wendy's. But McDonald's, it's going to be there. It's going to be there. And we already know from Demolition Man that Taco Bell wins the food wars. So yeah. Starbucks, it could go out of fashion. They're very trendy, fashionable. So I don't know if I'd go 100 years on it, you know? Hard to say. I don't know if I can even see 20 years into the future on Starbucks. Nike, I think Nike, yeah. Nike's going to be there in at least 50 plus years. Tesla has all the variables to be there in 100 years, even in 500 years. But can they keep that up? Can they keep up that vision? I don't know. But Tesla, is worth maybe a small amount of risk in your long-term portfolio. Sony, yeah, for sure. Very well managed company. No, you're not banned on here. You can say whatever you want. Eventually, people will realize making coffee at home is a much better option. Yeah. The things that are going to be here in 100 plus years are the strongest brands. Even more than operations or businesses, the strongest brands. Because when you think about it, it's possible. I mean, give it 100 years. We move out there into the solar system and we occupy Mars and the moon or whatever the hell we're doing. Plus, we get chip implants or maybe radio frequency communication with the brain. Wireless connection to the brain, or maybe even just full on plugging in. Where we go biotechnology wise is very interesting and to speculate about in the future. It may be that you don't do anything in the future. Just like in Wall-E, all those people on the thing, they're walking around like fat people on their little hover chairs, because everything's catered to. There's nothing you need to do. Well, in the metaverse or wherever things are going, wherever the future is going, you might not even need to travel. You might be able to go there anyway without moving, right? For instance. So changes everything. So the Nike shoes you buy might be virtual, So it really doesn't matter how well you even operate. Marketing and branding is going to be the most valuable forward-looking variable. Marketing, how well a company markets, enthuses their user base, and is strong as a brand. And you can find that in the fundamental analysis of stocks under what's called goodwill. Goodwill shows you the value of a company that is holding it up, but is not intrinsic to its operations. Yeah, Randy. All right, SPY just hit 440.8 or somewhere in there. 448 is actually 440.9 right now. We're getting some alerts on Zillow here. Zillow's doing good on its promise of that signal when we got in the other day. Zillow looking okay. How does BABA look? We were just looking at it. BABA is bearish and heading down, but it's been bottoming lately. So look, it's quite bearish, but it's been bottoming lately. However, it's done that before, so we can't really rely on that. But for a very short-term trade, there might be a low volatility breakout coming up right now, right here at this level. I would only recommend a swing entry on it, like at the end of the day, after we've analyzed how much volume and how much consistent follow through it's had. So if you can follow through, then that's a nice low risk, high reward potential entry for a 2, 3, 4, 5 month risk that it will go up. Should you wait to buy long call on NU when it breaks 1030? In what context? For a little couple days trade entry, a little month thing, a swing? Yeah, not long, like a swing. Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, you don't have to. You could get green over red if it has a significant day and has a volume breakout. So like look down below, look at my chart, right? I'm going to pull up the volume, and volume is not breaking out. If volume can't break over a previous red volume, that also applies. It needs to have a volume breakout, green over red, in addition to green over red candleage. So But the best signal is to wait for the full U breakout. Yeah, 10:30. And then really on top of that, the new high of the all-time high, 1225. But getting in early there is a good idea. The big volume candle was when? Was it this one or the next one? Okay, it was this one. But you can see that if you had been watching it, you could have seen a volume breakout even the previous day. It looks like now this one, this big candle here, towards the end of the day, could have got you in. If you should have a list of IPOs that have IPO'd in the last 4 months that you check in the last 2 hours of every day. And you should be looking on if anything's putting in an especially interesting sign. And there's so many signs, there's so many signals out there, worth the risk. So not just the U breakout, but a whole bunch. And then same thing, the last 2 hours of the market, that's when you should be looking at all swing trade opportunities. All right, Zomedica is looking like it's going to potentially break that 50-cent level. If it does, you can get in a rebuy or top off for 2 cents of risk. If it breaks 50 cents, so at 51, well, that's 3 cents of risk then. So you're back at 3 cents. However, the momentum does seem to be fading out. Both volume and angle, momentum, rate of change, it's curling over now, you see? So I would put a failure breakdown at 48 cents. You shorted and covered Roku for a profit just now. Good job. Well done. Roku has been a nice bearish bet for a while. So the market really not digging the increasing tensions out there. But also, we're probably going to see all kinds of earnings reports over the next few months that are going to adjust the market downward as the Fed hikes come in, and also as inflation continues to put pressure on everything. This year is going to be a corrective year on the market for growth stocks because they're typically highly in debt. Let's take a look at that Home Depot short. Yeah, I still like the idea. I feel like it's already in play. Momentum really shifted. Back here at 400. And when you saw it fail the retest on that second high in January, that could have been somewhere in there an opportunity after it broke that sort of upper side of the bridge of that peak at like 410 could have been an opportunity to go short, but certainly the neckline breakdown at this level could have been it as well at 388. It's now all the way back to 350, so that would have been a profitable move. The whole, in general, Home Depot may be going all the way back down to 300 area, maybe even settling into about 280 this year. So there's a lot of downside there, but and you need to take larger length options on that, or be short with shares. Double bottom. Look at NEO. Is NVIDIA a good short once it broke down below 250? Yes, but it just depends on how long you hold it. If you're talking about today, who knows? learn to take a risk and just get in there and see what happens. So Neo, yeah, multiple failed retests and breakdowns, highly not worthwhile stock to be in. Yeah, Ben. Sometimes it is a week, sometimes 6 months, but it seems to be some sort of pattern. What's that, Mac? I've had pretty good success tracking IPOs and buying them when they drop to half of what they IPO'd at. Oh, okay. Interesting. And everything's a probability and a statistic and a bell curve, and then you need to apply risk because you need to be able to repeat your thesis over and over, and then you need to put those together to see, is it positive expected value if I do this 100 times or negative expected value if I do this 100 times? So, do your research, but I will tell you this, that R&D in the stock market is one of the most expensive things you can do. So I wouldn't just go in blind faith on anything without lots of research. And then after you've done your research, you have to test, and that testing is going to cost real money, and the R&D result might be quite costly. So that's why I trade known strategies, known working strategies. They are not my own strategies. Oh, well, some of them are. Failed retest neckline breakdown. That's me. But it's an already semi-existing strategy out there. It's people can get the same result from a trend line breakdown or a head and shoulders pre-formation or a double top rejection. Dash has turned around. You definitely need to exit your position on that if you were short. And 5-minute buy would have been at 111. We just missed it with $5 of risk. So if we get a little bit of a pullback, maybe into the 112s, you can still get in a little bit of a late entry. But that was the 5-minute dip and rip entry there at 111 for $5 of risk. Oh, thanks for posting your gains, Anthony. Right on. Let me take a look. Way to go. Very nice. Mark's been putting out some Walmart alerts in his channel. And I think Persian All has been giving some updates in his channel. All right, gold is grinding up and the market is grinding down. It's really just a soft pullback. You can tell how strong the trend direction sentiment is by how the pullbacks look. Then they give you a lot of time to do that because pullbacks are slower than rallies or plunges. Let's take a look at the 2-minute on SPY and examine that. So compared to the direction down, a pullback is weakest if it's flat and sideways or even slightly edging down. And a pullback is super strong if it's angled upward and retracing a ton into the last rally. So what we have here is a nearly entirely weak pullback going on this downtrend. So that tells you that the sentiment on this downtrend is strong. It's like a 9 out of 10, like on the Richter scale of the strength of this downward sentiment. It is strong. Well, we're getting some kind of upward movement right now on that, though. So we'll see how that changes as it progresses. The trend sentiment can only be gauged by every time it breaks a new pivot in the direction of the trend. So that's where you get that. But at the moment, the judgment is that we're at like a 8 or a 9 on the Richter scale of how strong the trend is. Maybe it hasn't marked down the market much yet, but it's still strong, and maybe it's coming, and they're just trying to get enough liquidity trapped in there to rip their hearts out and then get them to sell, cry for mercy, and be able to buy back the same thing for cheaper. It's a story of as old as time. But it's too late here to wait for bigger pullback. All right, you guys over on TikTok, that's going to be the end of the social streams. If you'd like to continue with us, it's free. You can just click the link in my bio to come on over to our trading group, wherever you are, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, and TikTok. That's the end of our social media side of the stream, and we'll catch you in the group. Just come on over to the group and click the link in my bio to get there, or the link in your trading area to come on over. Hope to see you soon. We are continuing our group live trading session now in the trading group. So just click the link in my bio or wherever you are.